Coming up next on Good Morning El Paso from our New Mexico mobile newsroom, a chapter in the Las Cruces home invasion trial is nearly over. What the jury decided in just a few hours.
We want to preserve the mission. We are all in this to preserve the mission. UMC, children's.
Mediation fails again, and everyone is being ordered not to talk about the latest details in the UMC and El Paso children's case this morning. So what's next, and how does it affect you, the taxpayer?
And the government has launched a civil antitrust investigation into whether airlines illegally conspired to limit seats in an effort to boost fares.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
A very good morning to you, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. I'm Stephanie Valle.
And I'm Hillary Floren. Good morning, everyone. Let's get right to Crystal Clyde this morning. Talk about our forecast.
Yes, our 4th of July holiday weekend forecast, Crystal.
Oh, we're almost there. It's Thursday morning. Things are great outside right now. Let's start with a live look, actually, from one of our WeatherNet site cams. This is over at Powell Elementary School, and it's a very nice start to your morning. The sun now up, and we're looking at mostly clear conditions as the sun rises. Those mostly clear conditions not going to last all of today. In fact, we're actually going to see some clouds start to spread across the sky late afternoon, and then chances of rain overnight. On your clouds and radar map right now, you can see the clouds are focused to the north of us. There's actually some rain way to the north of us. That chance of rain will start to hit the higher elevations and then spread farther south. We're going to track those rain chances with a check on your raincast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Crystal, thank you. To round-the-clock coverage out of Las Cruces, police are investigating a shooting that happened overnight at the Sunny Acres RV Park. We have new video from the scene. Now, details are limited at this time. Our newsroom is still working to confirm the latest details, but stay with ABC7 as more information about this shooting becomes available.
Well, it took just 2 days to present the case and just a few hours for the jury to reach a verdict. ABC7's Jamie Warren was at the final day of the home invasion trial yesterday in Las Cruces and has this report from our New Mexico mobile newsroom.
A chapter in a New Year's Day 2014 home invasion is almost over. KVIA was convicted on lesser charges for his part in the break-in.
We find the defendant not guilty of attempt to commit the crime of first-degree murder by deliberate killing as charged in count 1.
KVIA was found not guilty of attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder, but he was found guilty of other charges, which included aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and aggravated burglary. KVIA was very calm in court. He gave a hug to his attorney and smiled at family as he was taken into custody. His defense attorney says all along this was two men who agreed to fight. A prosecutor tells us the verdict today should send a strong message to the community.
We want the community to know that people are not allowed to just enter people's residences and assault them, scare their children, and make fear and terror.
Given the evidence that was presented to the jury, this was the best scenario for us. Given that he was looking at so much time in jail, and now, you know, there's a light at the end of the tunnel for him.
I spoke with Joe. Joe is relieved that this whole ordeal is over. He's relieved that Mr. KVIA is going to face justice.
Sentencing takes place July 13th. The district attorney's office says that KVIA faces possibly 17 years behind bars, and the trial of Nathan Avalos, another man involved in the break-in, is set to start in August. Reporting in Las Cruces with our New Mexico mobile newsroom, Jamie Warren, ABC7.
How does the county plan to protect taxpayers now that the mediation between the El Paso Children's Hospital and University Medical Center has collapsed? This was the third attempt at mediation. The two sides will now go before a judge. County Judge Veronica Escobar said El Paso Children's Hospital made its first payment on Tuesday to UMC for services. UMC claims Children's owes it more than $100 million, but Children's disputes that number. Escobar also says there are a couple of things that give her comfort as the whole thing heads back to the courts.
Money is coming back into UMC. There's a clock. There's a essentially there's a finite period of time for this process to reach its conclusion.
Escobar says that period of time is up to the judge, but could be as little as 120 days.
And we also continue our complete coverage of the possible tuberculosis exposure at Frank Macias Elementary School. 17 students still need to be tested. Now, as for the 146 students at Horizon City School, the test results are already coming back. The students and 8 staff members were potentially exposed to TB. The health department announced last week that someone at the school had active TB, and the school's second graders could be at risk. New this morning, summertime is a time for the family to have fun together. Parents with children who have learning disabilities are no exception, and a local organization is helping to make some good times happen. Good morning, El Paso's Denise Olivas is live with more on this story. Denise?
Good morning, Hillary. Families with children who have disabilities many times have to carefully plan family outings. Well, this summer, Emergence Health Network reserves a portion of Memorial Park so families can let loose and have some fun. Every Wednesday through August 19th, Emergence Health Network sets up this safe place for families with music, food, and games for people of all ages who live with disabilities. It is a fenced-off area of the park. Organizers say that parents feel at ease here because they don't have to worry about their children wandering off. One father we spoke with who helped start this summer program 3 years ago says it's a time for him and his 26-year-old daughter to relax.
Sometimes when you take your kids or your children, people stare at them. Here, there's no staring here. The only reason we stare at them because we're clapping at them, we're just having fun along with them.
Again, this is happening through August 19th. That's every Wednesday, once a week. The event is free from 4:30 to 9:30. Stephanie, back to you.
Okay, Denise, thank you. Packed planes, higher fares, and those ever-increasing fees. The Justice Department is now investigating whether those frustrations for travelers are the result of a potentially unlawful coordination by what are now the 4 major airlines, United, Delta, American, and Southwest, controlling 80% of the market after a series of mergers. This morning, the airlines denied the accusation, saying through their trade association, quote, "It is customers who decide pricing, voting every day with their wallets on what they value and what they're willing to pay." We'll have more on this developing story coming up a little later here on Good Morning El Paso.
And let's take a live look at traffic this morning. I-10 and Yarrow looking good out there this morning. East and westbound, no problems to tell you about. We'll keep an eye on things, though, for sure.
And a part of UTEP history is coming down.
But to make room for a new facility that will attract a whole new group of faculty and research teams.
And later, it was the first game in a 3-game series for the El Paso Chihuahuas back at home. We'll let you know how it went after the break.
And we'll check in with Crystal, too. She's got a look at our forecast for today, which is going to be a hot one.
It is triple digits in the forecast today, but then a cool down with better chances of rain. We're talking 4th of July coming up.
Thanks, Crystal. This is ABC 7, where news comes first.